The Wisconsin Elections Commission says there is probable cause now. Elon Musk, violated the state's election bribery law. In a 5-to-1 vote, the commission referred 2 complaints to the Brown County District Attorney. Commissioners say Musk offered $1 million on social media, as we know, to people who voted in the 2025 Wisconsin Supreme Court election to persuade them to cast a ballot. Now, Musk also handed out 2 $1 million checks during a Green Bay event supporting conservative candidate Brad Schimmel, who ultimately lost to Susan Crawford. Musk also promised $100 payments to registered voters who signed a petition opposing what he called, quote, activist judges. The Brown County DA will now decide whether or not to file criminal charges under Wisconsin's election bribery statute. Wisconsin